Hi, I'm Prachi, and today we have Savitha with us. Savitha is one of the Pitaara parents. We invited Savitha to talk to us about UnSkool, which is Pitaara's flagship program. And Savitha is here to talk about, ask questions about what is UnSkool, and help. I will answer the questions for all of our benefit for Savitha's community, people who know Savitha, and Pitaara community. Uh, to understand what is unschool. So I hope this live answers some of the questions you have around unschool. So hi Savita, over to you.
Hi, Prachi. Thank you for inviting me to this tete-a-tete. tete-a-tete. I've been so curious about Unschool. I saw your posters, and I've been sending my kid to your different programs over the past couple of years. So I really wanted to know what you want to do with Unschool. What is the Unschool program? Because even when I share it with my friends or my relatives who have same age kids and all, I think the first question is that comes to everybody's mind is what is Unschool? So how do we explain it to them? How do I, what is a simple way to define what is unschool? Please tell me that, and I think
Right.
it'll help all of us.
All right. I think that's a very important basic question. And the first, simply the idea is of a program in the past, everything that Pitara has done has been single small programs, which is a 1 month program or a 3 month program. With Unschool, we have tried to create a long-term self-designed learning space, which is like an alternative learning system. So what I mean by alternative learning system is that we are again fundamentally following three basic principles. We're saying a child has choice in what they are learning, and curriculum is not imposed on a child that these are the 5 7 subjects that you have to learn. Uh, Child is also exposed to multiple things which are more relevant in the current context rather than learning from a curriculum which is written long back. So what we have tried to create with unschool is a full-time self-designed learning program which gives you a flexibility to join month on month, to join at times where you are interested, but it goes on year after year. It will go on a continuous program where we introduce children to 8 to 10 different things every month, and child has a choice to learn what they want to. So that is one thing, which is a learning which is facilitator led or a teacher led or led by someone who knows that stuff, knows this topic. Second thing which we are trying to do at Pitar with Unschool is creating a sense of belonging in children in that community where they can also design their own learning journey. So these are like starting points. Studios, which we call our courses, are like starting points. They can choose and they learn, and then slowly they develop a relationship with the entire community. And they also get a mentor. So they develop a relationship with a mentor. Now, what happens is slowly down the line, in span of 2 3 months, children start to say, "Oh, I want to learn this on my own," and the mentor helps them design their own learning journey. That how can you do this? So what we are trying to do broadly is trying to slowly create a path where child can take onus of their own learning, and they are designing it and helping them, getting them ready to reach that point where they're ready, right? To design it completely and supporting them, creating a supporting environment for them. And second thing is because this is online, and because we have children coming across the country and some children from Southeast Asia, it helps them have a very wide peer group and a very good cultural exchange. So it becomes like a learning community. That's it.
No, I agree. I mean, when my kid was part of some of your programs, there were kids from all over the country and all that, and we could see their interaction and all. And even the way you openly ask the kids what they want to learn today or what they want to do today, even when you're playing games with them sometimes. So that I understand, is a fundamentally different philosophy coming from what do you want to learn or what do you want to do today instead of, this is the schedule for today and let's do this. So I know that is like at the core of what you do. But tell me, my kid will start going to school in another 2 3 weeks. Once school reopens. But
Right.
how does this unschool program? How do I do that and this together? Or should we only do this? Is it only for unschooling kids?
So I'll tell you, it's a how it is we try to create it as a program which is not limited to unschooling or homeschooling kids. Because the idea is that can we slowly create an ecosystem or a space which is accessible to all children, because there are a lot of parents and families we have met in past who are very sure that they don't want to send their children to school. They are following unschooling, they're doing homeschooling. And some of them are very sufficient, they don't need anything. Some of them sometimes need some help, so they choose some of our programs, they come for 1 or 2, and it just acts as another of 5, 10 things they're doing on their own. And some of them also do it full time, like homeschoolers, unschoolers who are there. So that is one part of it, right? But there is also another spectrum of parents who are basically somewhere where they understand the problem of the conventional education system, or rather than problem, I'd say, if I put it in lighter words, the limitations of it. But they are not in a space due to their work or due to their lifestyles or where they are in their lives right now that they can make that jump, that they can make that decision that, oh, I'm not going to send this child to school and I will do it completely unschooling or homeschooling, right? So we try to design this program in a manner that it's a light program, it's a bite-sized program, it's not very heavy. It happens in afternoon for that reason only, so that even children who are going to school, if they want to, they can experience it. They can experience what is self-designed learning, what a choice-based learning environment looks like. They can get confident, they can pick few things, they don't have to pick everything. They pick few things which works for them. And gradually our hope is that the parents reach a point where they feel confident, that they say ki, or a child feel confident that now I am capable of designing my own learning. And then our hope is two. One is, so maybe they at some point are willing to leave the school. And even if they don't, the idea is that how much it might not happen 100% for everyone. The idea is that can it happen in some capacity for everyone? So how can we create an ecosystem which is accessible to everyone, that they can practice self-designed learning in their own capacity? So we are trying to develop a program such that it's more accessible, it's light. That's it.
I know. See, as a parent, I'm tempted to do unschooling 100%, but that model, I don't know if I can pull it off, as a single person trying to do both, going to office and, I don't think it's possible for me. So, any alternative like this, I think would be helpful. And this is online, right? Completely
This
online.
program
So
is
there's no
completely
offline
online
component.
at this point. Not
Okay.
right now.
But this at least helps us get into that direction, of how the child can begin to say, I want to learn this is what I think I like, and then go for it. So you will teach
Correct.
them how to go about that, I hope.
Correct. This
That's
is
where
all
we'll
it
be.
is, it's a
Yeah.
beginning. We don't, and even the idea of studios is not very skill focused. All the studios are very introductory in their nature. It's to expose them, and it's like a starting point to start, because most of the soft skills, most of these skills to be independent, to design your own learning, decision making, making choice are very long term skills. They build very slowly, and all these what we are doing at UnSkool is trying to create different avenues and different pieces that help you build the skills, right? So they happen in the background actually. The main work happens very slowly and in the background, and all these things which appears at the front are just like support systems for that to happen.
Oh, so that's a long-term goal that you have. I think that's very interesting. What kind of studios do you have this time?
So we have divided basically studios in 8 themes. So around the year, which are like creativity, there's some STEM, there is entrepreneurship, there is performing arts. So all these fields. So every month studios keep on changing. And so this month, if I talk specifically what studios we have is, we have something called how to make your own YouTube channel. We have some, because again we keep on, even we ask our kids in the last, like right now the current batch, we ask them that what do you need, what would you like us to design for you next month. And depending on what they're looking and what is happening around the world, we come up with these studios. Then there is cooking, so they're going to learn some salads next month. Then there is one course on, there's this very famous game called Wordle these days. And then there is so we are trying to design something around Wordle. So, it, because at Pitaara, the way we do, we are not against or for academics, right? Uh, it's like leveling everything, not putting anything above one another, right? And making everything accessible. So, like Wordle is a way to, maybe build up a little bit language. So that is another course. Then there is another course which we are doing in this month in 3D designing, 3D modeling. So that might continue next month. So these are some of the courses which is happening next month. For all of, if you want to see all of them, you have to check the website.
No, I understand. I think now I got there is a variety and you want to, look at different aspects, not just like the subjects we have in usually in school and the
Yes.
extracurricular. So this is all of those put together. You are offering multiple options. And this is done all online. So are you able to pull this off all online?
Yes. So I think everything happens online. See, what if you're also trying to ask, is it limiting in some capacity? I would say yes,
Yeah.
it is. But where? Only because when I can't play, like for children, what is important is play, doing things together, hugging, running after one another. All that is something which can't happen in online. But having said that, we have a lot of community space. We play a lot together. We have designed a lot of online versions of offline games. So you spend a lot of time doing that. So that happens. And answering your question, the course like we are teaching Kathak this month online, and Kathak is like something we have to watch their feet, and it's a struggle. It's not easiest thing to do. It's of course much more easier offline, but yes, it's possible, it's doable, and for some things online is very cool. Like when I'm designing 3D modeling, it's very easy to do it online because everyone is on their computer. For cooking also, it's very cool because they can focus. For some courses, it's slightly challenging, but I think we are managing. In the past, we have also done juggling online, and that was quite successful. So yeah,
Oh, that's good to hear. Uh, okay. But if I had to say what is unschool, in one or two lines, easily understandable to some of my friends and all, how do I say that?
I'll tell you. You tell them two things. One is, so you tell them it's a online self-designed learning space for 7 to 11 years old, and self-designed learning is quite explanatory. It's basically ability to design your own learning, right? Autonomy to do that. And second, you can tell them we are hosting an experience on June 5 because it's a hard term to understand. Entire program is also, there are so many things happening in entire program. We start, going one by one, that we have created this UnSkool experience, which is open to everyone. All parents, all children can join. It's on 5th June, Sunday, and it's basically in two parts. In the morning, it's 11 to 1:30. For that's a children's experience. So they can experience the studios of next month. They can also experience some of the elements of UnSkool. So they get a little bit sense of what the program will look like, and they can ask questions. And the evening, we have a parents meeting, parents dialogue, where basically parents can come in. We talk about what the program is. Parents are free to ask their question. We also talk about the larger philosophy of self-designed learning. So that is one good space for anyone who's curious. And we have, so these experiences we host every month, so that people just continuously, there is conversation going around it, and the program starts like a 2 weeks after the experience. So people have enough time to sign up, and then if they want to join for the month.
Okay, that's very interesting. So, if you can share the link for June 5th, I think I can also
I'll
share it
share.
across.
Yes, I'll share.
Because I know some friends are interested and it'll be good for them to, even for me to, understand how this works. So the experience program is a very good idea, I think, rather than just explaining it, you also showcase.
Correct. And also, this is a very experience based program. Like, most of the thing, even after coming for the experience, they will get like the, theory of it. But anything which actually you understand in life comes through experience.
Yeah,
So this is something I tell to, this, like now this after doing, like
yeah,
Ameya
yeah,
has been part of this on and off for 2 years, right?
correct.
Something. Now
True.
you actually understand. I have a parent who read a book, and then they said that now I actually understand what are you talking about. So I think it's not an idea for someone who is in very hurry or in rush for quick results. It's an idea who for thoughtfulness, for someone who is willing to spend time, who has time to understand and experience.
This is very nice. This is actually very different from other online different things that I have found for kids. Some are focused only on STEM, and there are some online places which help you do homework. Help your children do homework or do better in their school subjects. Either as a tuition or as a support system after school and all that. But this is very very different. And and for a very small young age group also, because there are so many
Yeah,
courses you have for older people, university programs and all that, but this for young kids I think is a very unique program, and
yeah.
you're trying to pull off a lot here.
Yes.
And very very new concept as well, something that we never had access to.
It's not new as a concept. It's something I think which not a lot of people had access to. Like, for example, I say this, and this is something I've borrowed from someone who is the pioneer of this movement in India, who says Eklavya was the first self-designed learner. He learned it, the Eklavya character we have in my Mahabharata, right? So I think we had it in our culture. I don't think that what we are doing is something very new, very innovative. We have created it. I think we have borrowed it from our ancestors. But I think what has happened is with the advent of this Macaulay's education system in last 200, 300 years, we just completely washed off all the knowledge we have, all the thought systems we had. Gandhi has spoken about this. Rabindranath Tagore has spoken about this in different capacity of how a child should be decision maker, and learning is happening everywhere. Like, learning is not only in the textbook, but learning is everywhere while living, while doing anything, and every skill is important, and not only few things which are right now termed as important skills are important, right? So I think one is that this is not a new idea. What we're trying to do with UnSkool and actually with the larger organization Pitaara Unleashed is creating a system with a lot of people, like not a system. I think the right word would be a community which is very strong, which is very self, like, grown very one by one, step by step, but it's a strong system which enables people, which makes this kind of learning accessible, which create more like a path. Right now, there's a path for an unschooler and homeschooler also. But because there is so much fear in the society, because there's so much conditioning in the society, it's not an easy step for a lot of parents. Not because they don't know that schools are not good, but because of the conditioning, because they don't know what if, 5 years down, I want my child to go to school, or will my child will have access to college? And all those questions are like so open-ended questions that, those questions, because not answered well, keeps me in school. So what we are trying to also do as a larger aim of this organization is that we answer these questions? Can we create pathways for all of it? So that then it's not a very hard decision for a parent to say that I will let my child decide what they want to do, right? And the second thing with this particular program, if I talk about UnSchool, is our thought is that, like, look at na Savitha, in school, you are packed for next 15 years with 5, 7 subjects, right? And then they throw some extracurricular at you. Whenever they feel the pressure is going too much, they throw, 1 hour games period, and that's it. That's all. Now, what we're trying to say is that in these initial 15 years, which are formative years, where children are very curious to learn, where they're also so free, there are no responsibilities, parents are taking care of them. If they explore multiple things in that time, there's a huge chance, we believe, there's no guarantee, but there's a huge chance they find something that they're deeply interested in, what we call passion. And if they find something at that young age, by end of 15, even if there's some chance that they'll find it, then they can go deep and they can become so good at whatever they're doing. Plus, they will learn multiple different skills. So you can have one thing which you are very good at, or you can have 10 things which you're very good at, but you can identify who you are, what you like doing. And I think that is the best use of 15 years, which I feel sad that school take away from a child by imposing only few things on them.
I think you hit on a very critical thing that most parents are looking for, but you are not able to find a way to do it. What is the child really interested in and what they would really like to do. And I really hope this gives those children who are part of this that insight into what they really like, in some time, or at least
In some
explore
time,
how to get there.
correct. And you learn about your learning style. You learn about, how am I a learner? Am I someone who learns in group? Am I someone who likes to learn from a teacher? Am I someone who likes to learn from resources available? You identify so much about yourself. Like, basically, and it's very hard. Unschooling is not unschooling, but self-designed learning is not an easy job. It's very hard because now the onus is completely on me. I can't blame anyone else. Right now, I don't want to do homework. Okay, doesn't matter. It's up in a school. I have to answer to a teacher. I have to answer my parent. Oh, why? And children end up becoming very, rebellious and
Yeah,
unaccountable for things. They don't learn. Doesn't matter. It's your life at the end of the day, right?
there's no
I think
ownership. Yeah, I agree.
it's I think handling that accountability to you, that as a parent or as a teacher, I'm there to support if you ask. But it's a negotiation. Like if you come to me, these are the terms of conditions of our working. For example, in UnSkool, we say that you have to, there are only four, like each studio has 4 sessions in a month. That's it. So we say you can come for first session and you can choose to not come for rest of them if you're not interested, if you feel like. But if you have come for the second session, like if you said, I am interested, and then you, if suddenly don't decide not to come for third session out of moodiness or anything, then you say, don't come for the fourth, because there has to be some accountability. You signed up for this, and this is not like the 1 year or 5 year program that you can't keep on going. So that's the idea behind it, is that can we just shift, can we let children live their own lives, and how can we can slowly do that. I think we are not fully there, we are just trying. This is just the beginning program, uh, but we are slowly trying to create that how much onus we can leave, and how
You know,
we only be a support.
this is so interesting. Actually, when with my son, when he was like 5 or 6, and even till last 5, 6 years, what I did was I used to buy a lot of books for him, all kinds of books. Some have a lot of pictures, some have more text. Some are heavy, light. Some have only few pages. Some are very, voluminous. The idea was let me find out what the child likes. Instead of saying I'll only get you 2 books and then we'll see if you read, then I'll buy you more. Instead of that, what I tried was get as much variety as possible and see what is more interesting to the child, and then move in that direction, and maybe that is what the child really likes. So I
Yeah,
somehow see what you're doing is something similar to that, but on a much more multi-dimensional scale.
yeah, that's it. So yeah,
That's
this
very
is it, I
interesting.
think.
So look forward to the 5th of June, actually. I really hope more like-minded parents are able to see this and see this as a
Yes,
solution, especially if they are really worried that they are imposing only a fixed schedule and then the child will never know
correct.
what they really want to do, kind of. I think that's a problem you're solving for.
Absolutely. And I, my thought is that with the way the world is changing, with the speed the world is changing, we really don't know what the future will look like, what the jobs of the future will look like, right? So I think the most important skill we can teach a child is they learn how to learn. They know who they are, they know their learning style, and they learn how do I learn? How can I learn fast in the world, right? So getting marks in any subjects, or for that matter, anything won't help. I think the battle is to develop, to know who you are, and to have an ability to navigate the world, to be adaptable, to have all these skills, right? So that's what our hope is, that can we create people, can we help? We can't create anyone. I think, right word, can we help people, children, be someone who they like to be? Can we help them live happier lives? Because another thing, I think before just closing, I'd like to say that we have seen so much youth, and I am part of it, and all are part of it in our generation, who have made multiple career shifts, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying that a lot of us have felt that, by till 25, whatever we did, the degrees we did, everything we did was waste. We didn't use it, and we are doing entirely different things. So can we not do that to our next generation? Can we help them use their time slightly better, or at least then enjoy it rather than slogging for first 20 years of your life and it of being no use? So I think that's what we're trying to do. So yes, I would like to say that you don't have to join UnSkool program, or you don't have to, it's what we're trying to do is start. First step is start that conversation in our minds, start thinking in our minds about what is the idea of self-designed learning. How can I take onus of my own learning? So how can I give my child that opportunity? So to all parents, I will invite that, come for UnSkool, don't come for UnSkool, but do give a thought that, should a child have a say and decision making power in what they're learning, how they're learning. uh, Whatever you liked about this conversation, if there was even one sentence which mattered or meant anything, then just give it little more time and be with it. So I think that is it. And for people who are convinced, yes, we would like to invite you for the UnSkool on 5th June. In this chat, this will be shared on, this is already on Pitaara wall. I think this will go on Savitha's wall also.
Sure,
And
I'll share this around.
you can watch, and we'll share the link. You can sign up and we'll give you the joining links, and you can come for the experience. Yes.
Great.
All
Oh, this
right.
is great. I really hope, there are some parents out there who want to do something like this. And this is for some of us, definitely.
Yes,
So
exactly.
definitely would love to try this.
All right. All right. Thank you, Savita. I'll close this
Thank you,
in
Prachi.
one sec. Yeah.